Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to actually teach you how to create an eczema tracker or eczema journal. It is actually so critical for you to create something like this so that you can heal. It's because you're able to track your patterns of how you're sleeping, if you're itching during your sleep, if you're having a flare-up, and what you ate, because it's all of those things mixed into one. And you also have to add in stress. So through an eczema tracker, doing this every single day, tracking what you're eating, if you're stressed, how your flare-ups are, that is how you can actually figure out your patterns and what's going on with your eczema. During this video, we're gonna go over how to actually put it inside of a journal, how to set it up on Google Sheets, and at the very end, I'm going to tell you about somebody who DM'd me and has a printable PDF for this whole thing. So let's dive right in and go into what this would be like in a journal. Not everybody likes the computer, not everybody likes to write things down, so I wanted to give you a variety of ways to actually create your eczema journal. So what you need is to get a journal, a notebook, and dedicate this to eczema tracking. You have to track your patterns or you're never going to break the cycle of knowing what is going on with your eczema and why you're flaring, because that is the key to healing, is understanding why you're flaring. So when it comes to eczema, you want to come up with your eczema formula, and that is your root cause of eczema. So you could have TSW, which means that stress is very, very intertwined, where stress could actually be a large indicator of what's going on. So if you already know you have TSW, be sure to really track stress. I will walk you through exactly how to set up your tracker, but keep that in mind. If you have TSW, topical steroid withdrawal, which is something that happens when you get off of topical steroids, doesn't happen all the time, doesn't happen to everybody. I used steroids in middle school and I never went through TSW. But if you have a lot of regular use, especially in your adulthood, it's likely that you have TSW if you just came off of topical steroids and you have eczema on your face, neck, and chest. Another part of your eczema formula could be that you have candida. It could also be that you have an overworked liver, or a combination of all of these. So I'm actually flipping to the page where we're going to go through our eczema journal. So you can make this as simple as possible, or you can make it a little bit more complex, but I wanted to show it in a simple way. So at the very top of the page, just write out the things that you need to know each day. So you need to know about your stress, what you ate that day, if you had any flares, and how your sleep is. I actually went through and created a mock. I don't really have eczema right now, so this is just for pretend. So December 21st, 2020, I slept well, didn't itch at night. And I'm sure for most of you that's gonna be, I itched the entire night. And then I went into food. So for breakfast I had half a sweet potato with flax oil and a cup of cooked cabbage. For a lunch was a salmon fillet with roasted red potatoes. For a snack, I had a cup of blueberries, and for dinner, I had a cup of lentils mixed with beans and 1 can of sardines. Again, this is not what I really ate. This is just to show you guys as an example. And then going into flares, I flared after lunch, super itchy. So that tells you then to look at what you ate for lunch. So, okay, salmon fillet, roasted red potatoes. The more detailed you can be about what you cooked with, so roasted red potatoes in coconut oil, because you might be reacting to coconut oil. And you'll actually see I do this again when we go through Google Sheets and set it up as a spreadsheet. Then what you're gonna do is talk about your flares, which we did. I flared after lunch. Then you're gonna go into stress. So I said I got stressed out when I flared. I also had to yell at my cats and it made me upset. This is a little bit, that might be a little true. So this is just a really quick journal. So every single day, depends on how you write, you can use 1 page per day, but you have a dedicated eczema journal. You have to do this, especially if you have severe eczema. The second method we're going to use is Google Sheets. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch this to a voiceover so that I can really give you guys a lot of detail as to what I'm doing so you can set it up in the way that I set it up. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is name this current sheet January for January, and then we're gonna set up our top header. So you're gonna write sleep, breakfast, lunch, snacks, dinner, and then you're gonna write stress, and then you're gonna write flares. And we're actually gonna add something in between sleep and breakfast a little bit later. Now I am just making it look pretty because I'm actually a graphic designer. And if it looks ugly, I will not use it. So you're gonna see me do a text wrap. So you can do format text wrap, and that way, no matter what you're putting inside of there, whether you have a really large breakfast or whatever text you need to input, you have plenty of room. And so I also resized the boxes so that'll fit as well. Now I'm just putting in a sample. So I put in, how I slept, how my breakfast was. In my flares, I wrote I flared after lunch. So I actually marked that in red. That way I can go back and start to understand my patterns. So then I went in and wrote a comment. Could be the coconut oil. I don't usually flare from salmon. Okay, so the very last thing that I'm so excited to share with you guys is I had somebody actually approach me and say, hey, I offer an eczema journal. And I was like, you know what? I'm making a video about eczema journals, eczema trackers. And they're like, awesome. So what they created was a daily eczema tracker journal. I'm gonna show you guys here a little walkthrough of what it looks like. And so this is a PDF that you can print out and use. And she went a little bit further and actually incorporated a lot of amazing things into this that are useful for eczema. So at the bottom of the page, you're gonna see affirmations. I just pulled up her email so we can get a little bit more accurate information. I don't have the best memory, so if I'm sitting here pulling from memory, you're not gonna like it. Let's just dive right into her email. So her name is Julie, and her website is juliehealseczema.com. And she's all about healing eczema naturally as well. She went through her own journey with this and had to create a journal for herself. So she said that there are different options for this. So you have a 12-week and a 4-week journal, and you can also get a single sheet so you can fit all of your budgets, which is awesome. However, the longer journals include more exercises and material, which is awesome. And she said that she took ideas from real cognitive behavioral therapy exercises and some of her own ideas. So this is gonna take everything a little step further. So what I showed you in the notebook, what I showed you in Google Sheets, this is the bare minimum. And what Julie does is takes it a step further. So I just want to read you her background story. So she said that she created this journal for herself when she had to start a stricter diet to eliminate toxins and regain her skin's health this summer. She wanted to track her food and her reactions, but give some space to her feelings and see the bigger picture. She asked some followers of hers if they'd find it useful, and so that is why she introduced positive healing related affirmations for each day, along with a gratitude field to keep us on the positive side. So if you know me and you watch me on Instagram story or you watch me on YouTube, this sort of thing is exactly what you guys need. Eczema isn't just eat the right foods. It's about changing your mind, changing your behaviors, changing everything to be in the positive, and seeing how you can become empowered by your eczema and become the best version of yourself. And that is amazing. So what I'm gonna do is link her tracker down in the description box below, and she actually gave us 15% off discount using code Michelle15. So that was super, super nice of her. So I hope you guys find that useful, and I hope you're able to use one of these methods. I am actually starting Empowered Eczema January 1st. It is the last round I'm coaching. This video is going to go out a few days before January 1st, but what I do inside of Empowered Eczema, I have created an eczema tracker. It's a little bit more advanced than what I showed you here today, and that's what I use to help my students transform, find their patterns, do their eczema formula. I take a look at their tracker and help them do all of that. So later in the year, around March or April of 2021, I'm actually going to be releasing a course. So if you're seeing this video past April 2021, you can now get Empowered Eczema as a course. There's the eczema tracker, there's an ultimate food list. It tells you every food you can think of and how it relates to eczema. Is it good for your gut? Does it overwork your liver? Does it feed candida? It's amazing. There's 6 different modules that go over a bunch of things, but if you want more information about the course, go to coachmichellmills.com/coaching. It'll also be linked in the description down below, and you'll be able to see the course there. So thank you guys so much, and I really hope you guys figure out your eczema formula, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!